Right now, as you're watching this, interest is silently eating your money alive. Every single day you delay repayment, you're paying for a vacation you'll never take or a car you'll never drive. The scary part, most Indians don't even realize how much extra they are losing, sometimes even lakhs of rupees, simply because of the way they are repaying loans. But here's the good news. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how to kill your loans faster than you thought possible without giving up your weekend dinners, family vacations, or mental peace. Stick around, and by the end, you'll know exactly the same 3 tweaks that helped a 28-year-old engineer clear a 6 lakh debt in under a year without skipping a single weekend outing. By the way, I'm Nikhil. I'm a chartered accountant by profession with nearly 2 decades of experience at EY, PwC, and one of India's top wealth management firms before I launched my own startup. And this is FinNiki, where we simplify money the same way I practice it. Stick around because we will not only break this down step by step, but I'll also share real stories and surprisingly practical moves you can start this week. Step 1, know your enemy, do a complete loan audit. Most people think they know how much they owe until they actually write it down. The gap between what you think and what's real can be shocking. You can't fight what you don't know. The first step is brutally simple, yet most people skip it. Write down the outstanding amount, monthly EMI, interest rate, and tenure remaining. Think of this as a doctor running tests before treatment. Without the diagnosis, the prescription is a guesswork. Why? Because not all loans are created equal. A 2 lakh credit card balance at 36% interest rate is more dangerous than a 10 lakh home loan at 8%. Once you do this, you'll begin to see which loan is bleeding you dry and which can wait. And here's the kicker. This clarity alone can reduce anxiety because the unknown is almost always scarier than the reality. Step 2, target the costliest loan first. It's called the Avalanche Strategy. If you ever felt like you're paying EMIs but the loan never seems to shrink, this is probably why. Once your audit is done, don't just blindly pay EMIs. Instead, use what's called as a debt avalanche strategy. In this method, you keep paying the minimum or the set of EMIs on all loans, but put any extra money towards the loan with the highest interest. For most people, this is either their credit card balance or a personal loan. Let's say your credit card interest is at 36% per annum. If you pay even extra 2000 per month towards the credit card, it can shave months of the repayment cycle and to save you tens of thousands in interest. Imagine this, if you're in a room with multiple alarms going off, one is deafening, you will deal with the loudest first so you can think straight again. And that's exactly what this step does. Step 3. Turn small wins into momentum. Use Snowball Strategy as a booster. Sometimes saving the most money isn't enough. You need a win you can actually feel. We know the Avalanche Method saves the most money, but let's accept it. It's emotionally exhausting when you're stuck paying one big loan for months. So here's the trick. Combine it with a debt snowball strategy. Once your high interest loan is slightly under control, shift your focus to a slightly smallest loan. Pay it off aggressively, even if it's just 10,000 payment or an old forgotten EMI. I know of somebody who had a 6 lakh personal loan and a tiny 7,000 overdue EMI on a gadget purchase. Clearing the smaller one first gave him such a rush that he channeled that energy into paying the bigger loan faster. Why? Closing one loan gives you a psychological momentum. It's like ticking something off your list. You feel progress, and that motivates you to keep going. Step 4, say no to minimum payments. They are a trap. The minimum due on your credit card is not a convenience, it's a debt trap designed to keep you paying forever. If you have ever paid just the minimum due on a credit card thinking you are being smart, think again, you're actually feeding a monster. Let me break this down for you. On a 1 lakh balance at 36% annual interest, credit card will charge you around 3,000 per month in interest alone. If you're paying just 3,000 minimum, your principal isn't going down at all. You're stuck in a loop. That's why you should always pay more than the minimum due. If not, you'll spend years paying off a loan that should have been cleared in months. It's just like bailing water from a sinking boat but refusing to plug the hole. You'll work harder but never reach the shore. Step 5. Increase your EMI but in small sustainable jumps. You might think you can't afford to pay more than your EMI, but what if I told you just 1,000 extra a month could save you half a year of payments? We often think we can't afford to pay more than the EMI, but all you need is a mindset shift. If you got a salary hike, even 5%, did your EMI go up? No, but your spending probably did. So instead of lifestyle inflation, try a micro EMI bump. Let's say your EMI is 10,000, bump it up to say 11,000 next month. Just that 1,000 extra each month can shorten a 3-year loan by 5 to 6 months. Suppose you take a personal loan of say 3,60,000 for 3 years, that is 36 months, at an interest rate of 11% per annum with a standard EMI of 10,000 per month. Under the regular repayment plan, you would pay about 10,000 per month every month for the full 36 months, which is a total of 3,60,000 towards the principal plus interest charged over the period. Following this schedule, you would clear the loan exactly at the end of 3 years tenure. But if you increase EMI by 1,000 rupees, your new EMI becomes 11,000 per month starting the next month. By consistently paying 1,000 extra each month, that extra money goes directly towards the principal, reducing both the outstanding balance and the interest you pay over time. Hence, this strategy helps you finish paying off your loan about 5 to 6 months earlier than originally scheduled, and you'll save a notable amount of interest. And the best part is, you won't even feel the pinch if you do it gradually. Automate it and let your bank do the rest. Step 6. Use bonus income or windfalls strategically. Your next Diwali bonus could actually buy you peace of mind instead of another gadget box. Whenever you receive a windfall, whether if it's a Diwali bonus, freelance payment or a tax refund, pause before spending it on a vacation or the latest phone. By making it a rule to put at least 50% of any surprise income towards your loan repayment, you're effectively purchasing peace of mind. For instance, the 25,000 bonus you might spend impulsively could actually save you as much as 60,000 in future interest payments, dramatically improving your financial outlook. Even if your loan carries a foreclosure charges, crunch the numbers. In most cases, the savings in interest far outweigh any penalty imposed. Step 7. Consider loan restructuring or refinancing if needed. Sometimes the fastest way to repay isn't paying faster, it's paying smarter. If you're currently repaying a high interest loan, say you locked in a rate of 14% 2 years ago and notice that the prevailing bank rates have dropped to say 10%, it is worth acting on this opportunity. Start by contacting your existing lender to request a rate reduction, especially if your credit score has improved since you took out that loan. Lenders may be willing to reevaluate your rate to retain you as a customer. If your lender declines, it's time to consider refinancing, apply for a new loan with a different bank at the lower rate, and use the funds to close out your existing high-interest loan. While switching loans does involve paperwork and some processing fees, the financial benefit actually can be substantial. For example, reducing your rate from 14% to 10% on a 5 lakh loan could lead to an interest savings approaching 1 lakh over the full repayment period. In the long run, restructuring or refinancing not only lowers your monthly outgo but also makes your debt much less expensive overall. Step 8. Build an emergency buffer to avoid reloaning. Clearing your debt is useless if you're back in it within a year. Often people who clear their debts fall back into it because they never built a buffer. You need to start saving even while you are repaying. Create a small emergency fund. Even a lakh at first, it prevents you from taking another high interest loan the next time a surprise bill hits you. Remember, debt freedom isn't just about repayment, it's about staying debt free. Let's clear this up once for all. Taking a loan isn't a sign of weakness or financial failure. Debt becomes a problem only when we stop managing it and start ignoring it. You don't need a massive salary or a sudden windfall to be debt free. What you need is clarity, discipline, and patience. Review what you owe. Plan like your financial life depends on it. Follow these steps to pay off your loans faster and efficiently. Send this to someone who is drowning in EMIs because this video might be the thing that pulls them out. And if you want money to finally stop feeling tricky, subscribe now because next video could save you lakhs. That's it from me. I'm Nikhil Verghese and this is FinNiki. See you in the next one.